What happens when someone has too much power, and no one stops them? At some point, it's not about desire anymore. It's about control. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just wealthy. He was connected, influential, untouchable. For years, he lived in a world where power protected itself. And the closer you got to the top, the fewer limits existed. This isn't really about what he did. Because things like this don't just appear overnight. They don't start at the extreme. They start small, almost invisible. One decision, then another. And slowly, every line begins to move. Until one day, there are no lines left at all. And that's when everything changes. Because at that point, it's no longer about what you want. It's about how far you believe you can go. Power doesn't corrupt. It reveals. It shows you what you're capable of when there's nothing stopping you. Because the more power you gain, the less resistance you feel. Rules become suggestions. Limits become obstacles. And at some point, you stop seeing boundaries completely. You don't think about what you should do, only about what you can. Limits don't disappear all at once. They shift. Little by little. One decision you ignore. One line you move. And over time, your definition of too far changes completely. What once felt wrong starts to feel normal. And what feels normal stops being questioned. Until eventually, there are no boundaries left to cross. Because there are no boundaries left. Only about what you can. The higher you go, the smaller your circle becomes. And in that circle, no one says no. People don't challenge you. They adapt to you, agree with you, protect you. And over time, you stop hearing opposition completely. Because when no one pushes back, your reality becomes the only reality that exists. Escalation isn't obvious. That's why it works. Because every step feels small, easy to justify, easy to ignore. You tell yourself it's not that different from before, that it's still under control. But every step shifts your position. Until one day, you're far beyond the point you thought you'd never reach. And by then, turning back isn't even a question. Power alone isn't enough. Control is what changes everything. Because when you realize you can influence people, you stop seeing them the same way. They're not equals anymore. They're options. Outcomes. Part of a system you can shape. And the more control you gain, the less human it feels. Not because it disappears, but because it becomes irrelevant. Reality doesn't break. It shifts. Slowly. Quietly. Until you don't recognize where the line used to be. You don't feel like you've changed. You feel like you evolved. Like you see things clearer than everyone else. But in truth, you just stop seeing limits. And when there are no limits, everything starts to feel acceptable. Systems aren't built to react instantly. They observe. They collect. They verify. But that process takes time. And time is exactly what allows patterns to grow. Because while everything is being analyzed, it's still happening. Still evolving. And by the moment action begins, the system isn't stopping something new. It's responding to something that already exists. This isn't just a story. It's a blueprint. A pattern of power, control, and no limits. Because when nothing pushes back, everything moves forward. Further. Faster. Until the line between right and wrong stops existing completely. And once that line is gone, there's nothing left to stop you. Only the illusion that you ever had limits. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Control isn't obvious. Until it is. This is the control code.